What I'd like to do today is really focus on this transition time that you've settled in to start to listen and shift. So even if in your world, anything that's happening, maybe you're going meeting to meeting, doing something different, just take even 15 seconds, 10 seconds for that transition to completely be present in that time, because that's the time you can set yourself up with intention for whatever's coming next. So if you'd like to join me in that right now, close your eyes if it feels good, and simply inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth, and maybe it's like you're blowing through a straw. Feeling your feet on the ground here, setting an intention. Maybe it's a word. What do I want right now in this next segment of time? Maybe I want to be fully present. That could be an intention. Maybe it's just to listen with 100% of my attention. Maybe it's to learn something. Maybe it's to connect with someone. Maybe it's to focus on the beautiful nature I'm in right now. Whatever it is, just set it. Open your eyes, come back into your space and your environment. That's all it takes to use a transition for any type of shift. And knowing we're jumping usually in our day, meeting to meeting, task to task, that time is so precious. That time is so, so important. That would be what I call like a micro pause, because it literally is a few seconds, but it can make all the difference. And it's a habit that we need to create if we want to do that, right? So we get to create that, right? Every time we have language that's around must, should do, have to, then it's actually more oppressive to our own selves, and we feel pressure, and we just decide maybe to resist it, or we don't do it because we avoid and don't want to go there. So I invite you to think about it like, I get to transition. What will I do? What is my intention? And then go forward. So good job. Giving you a high five there for doing that with me today. I wanted to talk about the 5 signs you know you need a pause. To me, this is kind of the telltale signs, and it could be anything like in these 5 things that you can intentionally shift your behavior and align. And this is in my book, Pause. This is a list that I created back when I burned out at Google, because all of these things were happening to me, believe it or not. And I learned that even if one of these things is happening to you right now, then that is a key sign, a telltale sign that an intentional shift in behavior would really, really serve you. And so remember, a pause is an intentional shift in behavior. It doesn't mean you take a long break. And even if you're on a forced pause right now, maybe you are laid off. Maybe you are on a transition career path, pivoting to do something different. Maybe it's all of the above. It doesn't, whatever it is, know that these are normal signs to experience, but all it means is, hey, let me align. Let me learn what I need to move forward in a way that serves me. Okay, so are you ready for these 5? And as I share these, I also know, just track for yourself how many of them you are experiencing right now. All right, so here's the first one. You used to love your job, and now you don't. Really. You used to love your job, and now you loathe it. So maybe you signed up, you were really excited. Maybe the first period of time you're all in and moving and shaking, doing great things. And now you're kind of like, why did I do this? What am I doing here? I don't like it. Not a good thing. I want to do something different. Okay. There's just an alignment issue. So something happened, and chances are maybe your job changed a little bit, but my guess is something happened where you shifted, and now your thoughts and behavior are not necessarily the way that they were for whatever reason. It doesn't even matter. But now there's a misalignment, a malalignment, and you need to adjust. All right. So that's the first one. You used to love your job. Now you loathe it. And it might be, let's say you're laid off. You used to enjoy your job, and now you don't want to go back to that anymore. That's the same thing. Number 2. Okay. So the number 2 is your boss tells you it's not working out. Your manager says you might want to do something else. Like my manager had told me at one point, in the best of intentions. So that could mean a lot of different things, right? It might be just it could be a casual conversation, sidebar conversation. That's like, maybe you could look into different things. Maybe you have other interests. Maybe this isn't your special thing, especially if we're young and early in our careers, right? Like maybe we think that we were born and bred to be a doctor. I'm just making this up. And then we get there and we're like, wow, I really don't want to be this. And then everyone can kind of see that the writing's on the wall, but you don't see that, but you have a really close and dear ally who literally spells it out for you, right? Maybe that's not their boss, but it's your friend, a trusted person. So just know, like, if you hear that feedback, maybe it's a performance review. It's good data. Everything is data, right? So that is another sign. Your manager tells you it's not working out. And maybe there's a development plan in place. There's all these things, but all it means, it doesn't mean that's true. It just means let me intentionally shift my behavior and figure this out. Okay, so that's number 2. Number 3, this is one of my favorites, that you need or have a technology intervention. Now, what is a technology intervention? You can probably guess, right? So that's either yourself or someone you know kind of butts in and says, hey, Rachel, do you really need to be on your phone while you're eating your breakfast? Or you're at dinner and you just can't get yourself away, or you're talking to someone, especially maybe when it creeps into family quality time that would be otherwise undivided attention, and you're glued to a phone, or your media, social media it could be your email. It doesn't matter what the media is, it's your devices, and they have a grip on us, right? So that's the third one. And I know for me, this is a funny story I'll share. When I was burning out of Google, I literally was driving across the Golden Gate Bridge with a friend of mine, good friend from business school, and I think her words, and this is in the book too, her words, Kathleen said to me, Rachel, do you always have to be on your phone? Or something like those, and she just was being honest. She just was like, dude, why are you on your phone all the time? And I wasn't driving looking at my phone at that moment, but for some reason, I think it just stuck out in her mind that I was constantly on my devices. And it was a wake-up call for me. I was like, oh man, if she's thinking of this right now, goodness, like, yeah, something's happening where I probably should pay attention and not be on my devices so much. And I would be at parties, like anything really, and I'd whip out my laptop like at 4 p.m. on a Sunday, because I knew I thought I had to get out an email, which was simply just me putting pressure on myself, thinking I got to look good. Yeah. So if you have had a technology intervention, if people have kind of hinted to you about that, that's the third sign. All right. So we've gotten through 3, there's 2 more. Number 4 is there is a challenge happening in your life, which could be anything, right? So challenges range across things like health, career, relationships, self, right? Maybe there's a really big thing you're dealing with financially. Like there's just challenges. So there's a challenge that happens, and that's a clear sign to kind of take a step back and be like, whoa, what's happening here? I need an intentional shift. I get to have an intentional shift in behavior. See that? I just caught myself. And so the challenge is a perfect opportunity. I think if you are in between careers or jobs, that's an ideal time to assess what is needed. Taking this time is so huge and can really serve you, as opposed to jumping into the next thing you think you need, but then again, realizing, wow, wait, I did it again. I'm in a job I hate now again after 2 months. All right. So that's the 4th one. And then the last one, number 5, is an opportunity. So there's an opportunity knocking, meaning maybe there's just some nag in the back of your mind that just continues to come up. Like, I really want to go to Paris. I really want to start this passion project of mine. I really want to plant some trees in the backyard that I think just could really use some more bushes there. I think these are things that might seem very nuanced or small potatoes, but the reality is they're actually things that are going on because there's probably something else happening that would really serve you. And that time that you do that or experience will really feed your soul. It will help liberate you to maybe feeling new things, being in a space that's maybe close to nature, maybe not. However, the opportunity knocks. Maybe it's a friend who's like, hey, let's go on this weekend long retreat, this vacation. I think this would be great. And I'd love to do it with you. Right. There's all kinds of stuff that happens. So those are the 5. So now I'll take a tally. What ones apply to you right now? Maybe you have 0, maybe you have all 5, but real quick, The 5 are, you used to love your job, now you don't. Your boss tells you it's not working out. Number 2. Number 3 is a technology intervention. Number 4 is a challenge. Number 5 is an opportunity. All right. So of those, I'd love to know, how many are you going through right now? And if you even have one of those, I'd say you're probably in the majority of people. And if you have 3 to 5, that's like the red flag of, hey, I think a pause would really serve you. And remember, a pause isn't anything other than an intentional shift in behavior. So that might mean doing something different. That might mean journaling about what's going on. That might mean naming a feeling. I notice I'm super frustrated. I'm angry about this. So whatever that is, that's the next step, is to kind of allow yourself to be in that inquiry of what could I do different, and intentionally, right? This isn't us on autopilot. Now, how does this impact us as leaders? Well, think about yourself leading whatever you're doing like in your career. Maybe it's even with your family, as a leader, as a head of household or a mother or whatever it is. And I think whether you're an executive or a stay-at-home mom, whatever they are, you could be an executive stay-at-home mom, by the way. All of it is in service to you feeling more joy, feeling more fulfilled, feeling more aligned. And when we're in alignment, that leads us to new things that really serve us, right? So we are in flow. We feel connected to ourselves and others and the universe, and things just happen in ways that really serve us. But if we are not in alignment, right, we're at the job we can't stand, we're in the marriage doesn't work, that we want to move into something different, I don't know, whatever that is, we have to get honest with ourselves. And I think pausing to notice that is the first step. It's the gateway. I call it the pause portal to a different way to a new trajectory. And for me, in my world, it led to everything new. Like every single thing in my life changed. Everything. My boyfriend changed. My philosophies changed. My job changed. My values changed. I mean, nothing didn't change. Everything changed. And that was profound. And you'll have your own experience. But listen, if you don't take the pause to listen to the 5, signs, if you miss the signs, you're just going to keep on trucking and you're going to miss it. You're just going to keep doing what you do and go back into the loop, go back into the cycle where you got to the same place and you're still in it. And then you wonder, why do I keep dating the same guy? Or why am I still stuck in these jobs that don't pay me anything, right? That's the key. So don't miss those signs, people. That's all I'm saying. They are huge. They're signs that are red, like waving at you, like, hey, pay attention. Don't let me go by again. Because guess what? It'll come by again if you don't pay attention, but time will have gone by and maybe different things in your life will have gone by. And you've been like, why didn't I figure this out? So don't worry about it. Just know that these signs are there. And so give yourself an inventory. What is the signs you're experiencing right now? And last but not least, if you are experiencing any of these signs, even one of them, you are qualified exceptionally to come to the Powerful Pause Retreat, which is tomorrow in my world. Well, by the time this goes out, it won't be happening, but we'll be talking about it. And I want to share with you the Pause Retreat. It's once a year, so it won't be happening again, but you can attend something of mine that we'll be doing, likely a masterclass online in the very near future. So sign up for my email, sign up to subscribe to this podcast, because you don't want to miss it. There is ways for you to shift, and you are not alone. And I am here for you, sister. I am here to help you and my brothers, that it will happen, because you've let this in, and if you're here, it's not an accident. If you're here and you're listening to this, you're on a path. You're on the path that is allowing you to flourish in ways that you would have never imagined. And I'm just so excited for you to join and go there. So thank you, everybody. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Pause on.